Good evening. Hinduism is not a global religion. Although 1.3 billion people live in India and about a billion people follow Hinduism there, still Hinduism is actually not a global religion. Almost all Hindus around the world are of Indian origin, well, except a few who call themselves Hindus now because they subscribe to this hippie organization called ISKCON or Hare Krishna movement. But the numbers are fringe few. 99.9% Hindus belong to India. That's why the disgusting side of this religion are not perceived or understood by non-Indian people or who do not belong to South Asia. Hinduism is a religion which is based on racism. Hinduism not only tolerates but it also propagates racism. It also propagates communal disharmony. 20 to 25% of higher caste Hindus of India dominate 75% of economy because there are 170 million people who are untouchables in India. They can't be touched even after they die, and when they are taken to crematorium they have to go to a roundabout way because they can't take the corpse in a straight path. In India, the number of religious riots are worst in the world. India is now the worst nation where racism flares. Even in modern day India, Rajasthan, a place in the northeast of India, had to enact special laws so that women could not be burned alive along with their dead husbands, according to the age-old Satidahu custom. Even now in India, when children are born with more than 10 fingers, are worshipped and their parents don't want to have an operation done because they consider that to be a blessing. In India, people are dying at the hands of Hindu extremists on a daily basis. But the rest of the world is totally unaware of it. Why? As I said, the reason is Hinduism is not a global religion. Imagine a religion that has followers all over the world, like Christianity or Islam, where the followers do not allow marriages amongst higher castes and lower castes, intermarriages, and are not allowed. Hundreds of people get killed every year in India for getting married into different castes. Can you imagine a religion like that taking root widespread around the world? In India, mosques and other religious shrines are torn down with lame excuses like some ruler built it on top of another temple 500 years ago. Christians are persecuted in India on a weekly basis. Christian missionaries are killed every year. And if you Google, you will see India is the worst place for Christians to live in. Thousands of Christians are persecuted and forcefully deconverted back into Hinduism. This applies to Muslims as well. Muslims are also forcibly deconverted back to Hinduism. And they even have an organization called Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Over 60,000 people were forcibly converted or deconverted back to Hinduism by this group. Over 6 million armed paramilitary forces have been built by fanatic organizations like the RSS. BJP and RSS are organizations, Shiv Senas are organizations who are like copycat organizations which were created emulating Mussolini's black shirt movement and Hitler's Nazism. This is religion which has given birth to political ideologies like Hindutva. And this political ideology doesn't even recognize Islam and Christianity to be religions. Well, we are all saddened by the fact that an Islamist terrorist killed a couple of innocent civilians in London Bridge a couple of days ago. But we tend to forget that people like Tabriz Ansari in India, a Muslim man who was killed because he didn't shout enough loudly Jai Sri Ram, which has become High Hitler of Hindu fanatics today. Just Google the number of religious atrocities in India and you'll be shocked to see what's going on there. But rest of the world seem to be oblivious about it. Why? Simply because Indian religion, Hinduism, is not a global religion. But people like me who are of South Asia, they know it all too well. Filthy customs, filthy rituals where women are degraded, where women are always afraid of giving birth to female children because the number of fetuses being terminated because they are female fetuses are the highest in India. That's why if you go to the Indian capital and go to any hospital, you will read notices where it is written that you cannot find out whether your baby inside your womb is a daughter or a boy, because there are repercussions, implications of giving birth to female children. There are implications on inheritance for the women. And you can check the laws of the region called Goa in India to find the facts. In India still, this religion is making lives of non-Hindus intolerable. And you think Islamist terrorism is bad enough? Why don't you find out what RSS and BJP and Shiv Senas are doing today? And why don't you find out what Narendra Modi did to his wife and is doing still to his estranged wife? And why doesn't he divorce his estranged wife? Because divorce is not allowed in Orthodox Hinduism. So inheritance is also not allowed to women in Orthodox Hinduism. So is that a religion you are ready to appreciate? Isn't it about time the world should take account what Hindu extremism is doing to non-Hindus in South Asia? Because hey, 1.3 billion people live in India, and thousands are dying at the hands of these Hindu extremists. In India, the life of a human being is of lesser value than the life of a cow. And in India, the salesmen in McDonald's are too afraid to sell the beef burger even to non-Hindus. Being ignorant about it is a slap on humanity.